Hello, everybody. I'm Don Benito, and welcome to the Glory Reds podcast. And today we are going to be talking about the transfer business. What's going on in the transfer market? Oh boy, there's so much going on in the transfer market. I don't even know how to keep up. But I am going to give you what I have for you today. So buckle up, increase the volume, and enjoy. Matheus Cunha. This is the deal that I have been waiting for years. I lie. Years is, but yeah, years. Like I wanted him 2 seasons ago, so it's years. Yeah, years. Yeah. I'm correct in saying that. I wanted this player for years, but seeing him now about to become a Red Devil is something that's just driving me crazy. Now, what's going on with Matheus Cunha? Well, talks are underway. Things are happening with Matheus Cunha. So I'm assuming at this point, Matheus Cunha's representatives and Manchester United are discussing personal terms. They are discussing wages, discussing everything else. Because this deal cannot progress without Cunha giving the go ahead and wanting to join another club. He sort of has to give an indication that he wants to leave. And I think he wants to leave this season. And Manchester United is his destination. How do you guys feel about that? Anyway, so they are discussing. I don't know when we're going to get the news that personal terms have been agreed. But the moment you hear that personal terms have been agreed, just know that that is the moment where Manchester United can now progress and now go on and do the deal. Now, Matheus Cunha has got a release clause of about 62.5 million. In order for us to get him out of Wolves, we need to pay that fee. Does Manchester United have the money to pay that fee? So Jim says that we don't. So Jim says that by Christmas we'll be broke. Blah, 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 blah. But a lot can happen. A lot can change. What did we do with our previous signings last season? Euro, De Ligt, Ugat, Xerxes. We were paying the players in installments. And I believe Manchester United is going to adopt the same strategy with Matheus Cunha. There's no way they can pay that money. Well, but it will be very interesting because there are some clubs that actually want you to pay the full release clause. Like, yo, you want to get this player? Pay the money. None of this installment bullshit that you guys want to come here. Pay the full money, get your player. And a lot that used to happen to Manchester United a lot. Every time we want a player who has got a release clause, they'll tell us to pay this ridiculous amount of money, and then Manchester United backs out, and then we go and then downgrade the player that we want to get because we can't afford or whatever. And then another team will just come in and then all of a sudden they'll strike a deal with that player will go. And you'll be like, wait, what's going on? What's going on with Manchester United? We have not been good in the transfer market for decades. If there's one thing I will give praise to Ineos for is signings, the recruitment, this part of it, getting players in. That I will give. That I will say, you know what? I've been shitting on you all season, all year, since you guys arrived. But if there's one thing that you guys are trying to get right, it is the signings. Whether the players or not are the caliber of things that Ruben Amorim wants is another question. But the sole fact that they got Euro away from Real Madrid is impressive. I still cannot get over it. I still can't believe it. And I've not gotten over about how brilliant that was. How huge that was. Maybe because I like the defender. Maybe. But Manchester United are not known for beating Real Madrid or Chelsea or Bayern or any other team to a player in the transfer market. Like, that rarely happens where we going competing. Like, those days, maybe back in the days, but now, the last decade and a half, it's always buying the wrong player or like paying ridiculous amounts for the wrong player. Like, it's just a madness. So with regards to transfer business, I'll be like, you know what, Ineos, you guys are doing some things. Because Mazraoui, De Ligt, I know people don't like those signings, but man, those guys have been major for us. Mazraoui has been absolutely unbelievable this season. Yeah, he had his dip, which is normal, but he has just picked that up and continued. And it is just like, wow, that is Ineos signing. De Ligt, Ineos signing. Euro, Ineos signing. Xerxes, Ineos signing. Xerxes is now somebody that we cannot imagine that starting 11 without. He is important for us at the moment. Next season, we don't know. But right now, Xerxes is important for us. Yes, he's picked up his injury and he's still nursing it, but he has been an important player for us. He has been that breath of fresh air when it comes to that looking. When you look at Rasmus Højlund and what he does, and then you look at Xerxes, Xerxes just gives you that energy. Xerxes just gives you that life. Like, yes, at least somebody gets the memo. At least somebody gets it. So the talks with Matheus Cunha are underway. And I believe if we get this player in, I think the player to leave is going to be Garnacho. I'm telling you. Because, I've been, in fact, I've been thinking about this for some time. I've actually, even in the previous episodes, you guys know I talked about this. I talked about Meno and I talked about Garnacho. I said, these two, don't be surprised if they bounce. Don't be surprised, because these two players mean pure profit. Whatever money we make out of these players come directly back into the club, and we can use that money to get other players. Now, Garnacho almost left to Napoli during the winter. The only reason why Garnacho didn't go was because Napoli were not going to pay the 200,000 that he was looking for. Garnacho doesn't earn 200,000 at Manchester United. He's still a child. So the fact that he was asking for that amount and they turned him down, they're like, nah. It meant that Garnacho is probably thinking about getting that kind of money at Manchester United at some point. Or, I don't know. And then the talks with Kobe Menu. Still, they've not told us what has happened. We don't know if Kobe Menu has agreed to sign. We have just told, all we know up until this moment is that the talks have stalled. There has not been any update regarding Garnacho. Regarding Menu and his contract. Now, I told you at the time that these guys are preparing us to let go of these players. They are preparing us, because what I was anticipating, or what I was thinking would happen, is that they will say that the transfer, like the talks for a new deal fell through, didn't happen, and because of that, they've opted to sell this guy, or this guy is going to go, or this, or blah blah blah, whatever. You understand? So it will leave the fans thinking, okay, let's get rid of him, because he didn't want to sign. He didn't want the wages that we were giving, and we'll kind of pile on them because they're kids. How can you be asking for this amount of money when you're such a child? You should be appreciating that you're playing for Manchester United. That's how I'm seeing things are going to go with regards to those players. And to sort of insulate that and sort of have an alibi in a very strange way, it's to have breakdown in talks. That's what I'm thinking. Now, Garnacho, I know a lot of you love him, but I told you that I'm comfortable. I'm indifferent with the kid. I'm comfortable letting him go. And I truly believe if Cunha comes in, where is Garnacho going to play? Where will Garnacho play? Because he doesn't come before Ahmad, doesn't come before Bruno, doesn't come before Xerxes. Is he going to play as a striker? No. Where is he going to play? Say Jadon Sancho, God forbid, comes back. Marcus Rashford comes back. God forbid. I'm knocking. Like, I'm not saying that they should, but yeah, just to say God forbid those guys come back. Where does Garnacho play? So I think you guys need to prepare yourself, Garnacho department. I don't know. He might leave. He might. And I'm okay with it. I'm comfortable with it. I will wish him all the best. I'll actually follow him all the way, because I'm getting the sense that this is almost like an Elanga situation, you know, because if Garnacho really truly not wanted, if there was a future, his performances were going to like. Anyway, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. But I truly believe between Garnacho and Menu, I think Menu stays and Garnacho leaves. I think when you look at both of them, the position on the pitch, which one is more important? Kobe Menu's one is more important. Garnacho's one, we can get a replacement, or we have got more players. It's that midfield position that we don't have a lot of players. So if they were to get rid of one, I think Garnacho will be the one. And that's where I'm thinking that my mind is going there. I don't know if that's what will happen, but that's where my mind is going. The next player that we need to talk about is Victor Osihmen. So we mentioned that Victor Osihmen is on the radar of Manchester United. Manchester are looking into the boy. But the only way we can get this guy is if we qualify for Champions League. Meaning, we need to beat Atletico Bilbao and either Tottenham or Bodo Glimt in the final. We win that final, we make it into the Champions League, that's when you are going to be able to do a lot of deals. But it turns out that Manchester United are not looking into him. They've decided to opt. But one of the reasons why they were saying is because of everything that's surrounding Victor Osihmen. I don't know about you guys, but is it me or does Victor Osihmen feel like he's carrying baggage with him? Baggage in the sense that there is always this uncertainty with Victor Osihmen. I mean, he's a fantastic player, amazing striker, would come to Manchester United and do a job. But why is it difficult for teams to sign this player? Why? What's going on? What is it that we don't know about Victor Osihmen? Are you trying to tell me that his release clause is the thing that's driving people crazy? That guy is 25, 26, 25. He is young. I don't understand how people are not looking into getting him. And I'm talking about big clubs. You look at Arsenal. Arsenal need a striker. Liverpool need a striker. Real Madrid, do they need a striker? They kind of do, because Mbappe is not a striker. But you get my tune. They need a striker. Why isn't Victor Osihmen? Why are people not scrambling to get this player? This is the question that I've been asking myself. But when I read the article, is it Simon Jones or Simon Locust or something, they're saying that Manchester United decided not to look at this player. I got the sense that they feel that Victor Osihmen comes with a lot of baggage. There's a lot of things that are happening with him. And I feel like that's the reason why Manchester United are not going into it. Because his release clause is something that's affordable, we can do. But when you look at the maths as well, and the money at the club, it's tricky. If we were to get Cunha for 60 and then this guy also another 60, hey, that's money we don't have. So I totally understand. But the Victor Osimhen deal is off. Well, we'll have to wait and see because we have not yet won the Europe. Maybe things can change. Let me just say this real quick. Our season will change dramatically depending on our journey to the Europa League. If we lose to Bilbao, there's going to be a lot of negativity. There's going to be a lot of stories about players that want, like, there's going to be a lot of stuff that if you are not trained in understanding what the news is, you are going to get swept away. And we don't need that. We don't need that. If these guys are trying to get players in before the summer, please let them quietly do that. The next player that we're going to be talking about, Anderson from Atalanta, defensive midfielder. Whew, very, very good. Very, very good. He comes to Manchester United, a lot of problems are solved. Casemiro situation, we can put it behind us. Casemiro will be a bench player. He will rot there. Not that I want him to rot, by the way, because I love Casemiro. I respect him. But The legs are gone. But one brilliant thing, and I want to give him praise, is at this period now that we're in, Casemiro has stepped up. He does that. That's his thing. He always shows up or turns up when you guys least expect it, and I'm happy for him. But Anderson coming to us, Manchester United, game changer. Midfield is going to be so solid, it's going to be ridiculous. He's one of the best defending midfielders in Syria. I think he's one of the leading most tackles in their league. He is exceptional. It's like having Ugarte 2.0 there. So Manchester United are looking into that. They've already begun talks. So he's also another player that we need to pay attention to his to the personal terms. Once you hear the personal terms have been agreed, let's just start waiting and seeing, and we take it from there. The last but not least is this French kid that Manchester United have acquired. And they've brought him from Le Havre. For those that do not know where Le Havre is the team that Manchester United got Paul Pogba. Now, you remember Paul Pogba, our beast of a midfielder that was supposed to be and never was. Yeah, Manchester United have stuck their hands in that cookie pot again for Le Havre, and they've come out there with a striker. And this kid's name is Enzo Cunha. Woo! The kid has already scored 18 goals. Sorry, he has scored 14 goals so far for the second division. He's 18 years. I understand. I know it's almost the same thing as looking at Chido Obi. But the player and his family decided to join Manchester United. However, Manchester United have already shown him what they're going to do. They've already detailed the plans for the kid. The kid is going to go on loan, on a season loan, to a team called Lusane. Oh, yeah, Lusane. It is in Switzerland. And it is a team that belongs to Ineos. Imagine. So this has got some Ineos connection to it. So the kid will go there. I'm assuming he's going there so that he can marinate and get cooked properly and bake, so they come back properly. And, meanwhile, we've got Chido this side, and then we're going to have to deal with Højlund and Xerxes. I don't know if we're going to try. Matheus Cunha coming in is going to be another addition because he can do a job there in that striker position. So I'm happy with that. I'm really, really happy with that. I'm happy with the recruitment in Manchester United. My only issue is that they're going too young. Certain players, and the reason why I don't like it is because they are showing us their plan. It's almost like we are like a printing machine. We are going there buying up all these young talent so that when the time they are there, we can get market value for them and then we sell. Some of these players, we're not even going to have them in this first team. So I don't understand why we keep wasting time with this thing instead of going for ready-made, within the age 25 and below. Get the player in. Let's move. We need to win titles. We need to cement ourselves back there in the summit. But Manchester United, we're just buying kids. I don't know how many kids we've got. We've got that Leon from Paraguay. We've got the kid from Crystal Palace. We've got a plethora of young talent at Manchester United that half of them we're not even going to see. Maybe even 3/4 of that talent we might not see at Manchester United. But we have to talk about them because maybe one of them will slip through the cracks and come into that first team and just blow our mind. But we'll keep you guys posted on that. Thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. It's your boy, Don Benito. Today, I want to take this moment to say thank you to our fans, those that are listening. Catch us on Spotify. We are on Google Podcast. We are on YouTube. Please leave a comment. We need you guys to engage us because the only way we can have conversation is if you guys comment. So please, 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 if I say something that's out of line, or that you think is bullshit, leave a comment. Say, hey, Benito, you're talking shit, man. It's like this, it's like this, it's like this. And I'll be like, oh, yeah, I don't mind. I love to be corrected if I'm wrong. I am a student of the game. I am a student and I'm just trying to. So please leave a comment. If there's something that I say that is nonsense, out of line, please leave a comment. We will address it. We can discuss it. We might even bring some of you guys in your comments into the show so that we can keep the show alive. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everybody, for listening to the Glory Reds podcast. It's Don Benito, and I'm out. Peace.